Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Eye on Icon, the episode where we go around the ecosystem and get you the latest and greatest news. And with me now, as always, it's Digital Dave. How are you, man?
Hello. I'm good. Thanks
Li-
for having me. Thanks for
No,
having me.
thanks for coming back on, man. Look, we got quite a lot to get through. Let's just smash through it. Okay, so
Yeah.
first things first, David. Not to be rude, how's the week been?
Oh, terrible could be
Terrible.
the right word. The past 2 weeks. I think you're talking or referring to markets, and I don't dare look even. And I'm afraid of
Wait.
what's to come as well. To be
What is
honest,
it? Is it what kind of vibe is the Twitter? What's
doom,
the?
gloom,
Is it? Oh
bear
man.
city.
Okay. Well, let's take a look. What's going on here? Markets. You know what? I think around here when ICX broke its stable when its peg to hovering around 60 cents, I must have tuned out. And I didn't realize this dip had happened, and I didn't realize we were dipping again. A bit oblivious to what has been happening in the markets ever since the famous collapse of a chain. But yeah, it's not looking too good at the moment. Definitely Bear City. I thought we'd climb back up for the big guns. ETH. I thought we were back up 2000 and hovering, but I can see there's been a little bit of a dip.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm not liking this. Like I told you, I'm not a TA guy, but you can just see like these are the dailies. You go back to 2021. We've hovered and we've bounced around this once, twice, and kept going, and now we're coming back in a downtrend. Will this hold?
Yeah.
You know what, David? I feel every week when we chat, I'm always showing a new line that is the ultimate support, and if this fails, doom and gloom. And by the time I
Mm.
release the episode, it's failed. Oh,
Look, you know how they've got the fear and greed index,
yes.
showing what the markets are behaving like, and currently, it's set to fear, and there's this other chart where they kind of tell you that you need to go through like maximum pain before it kind of turns around, um, and I'm afraid because it hasn't reached it's reached pain for me, but not maximum pain. So I feel like that's to come. I'm not sure. How's the pain levels on your end?
Look, yeah, maximum pain. Um, but I think again for me, like we all know the famous lunar implosion. That in that regard, it's been painful because I probably didn't expect the entire chain to go the way a old yellow. What's that
Nah.
saying? Yeah. So it wasn't price action pain. It's the implosion pain that's yeah, been hard to take, but it is what it is. So now looking at price action, yeah, it's a bit depressing. Um,
Mm.
although I what oh and I want to give this a bit of a plug. If you're not already, one, you should be on the Icon Discord, especially if you're listening to this podcast. Like, that is by default where you need to go. And two, there is a TA club channel, and it is sensational. Like, I've been shouting out Bearish Bull, and I still do. Great TA. I didn't even know that sort of stuff existed, and I thought I knew a bit about TA. But I've seen now oh, Zazo, someone else. He's posting a lot of on chain metrics, and a few others have been giving their takes quite detailed and all diverse. So it's not just a similar kind of TA. So you kind of get to see all these different views, and I love it. I actually go in there and I read up, and then I put a one liner, but I always call out I appreciate it because they're clearly taking a lot of time to
Mm.
break down what they're seeing on the charts in great detail. And yeah, you're getting all this on the house just by being part of the Discord.
Indeed.
So
So you get into the Icon Discord. It's the TA channel you're saying, and it's free.
it's free. Oh, you can send me some ICX if you want. I'll let you scrape it. Don't do that. I don't want anyone's ICX. Because I like to have them all.
Okay, but you know what they say when the markets look terrible, you follow those who build.
That's right. The building doesn't stop, and I think that's one of the biggest call outs. So yeah, we can get doom and gloom. ICX, yes, it's crap. It's a bit terrible that it's this low, but everything's correcting. the chain hasn't imploded. So you know what? Strike that up to a win. Who gives a crap? Where the chain perfect, hasn't had any downtime like Solana, is hasn't imploded like Luna. Builders are still building. Yeah, I mean, I have nothing but good things
It's
to say
looking
here,
good, isn't
honestly.
it?
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic. What red line? Anyway, that's markets. Oh, we didn't talk about BTC. What's BTC doing? Oh, look at these. These are all old lines. You see, it's not looking good, guys. Let's just forget about it. Let's jump into the news. Okay, so ICONLOOP, they released. So this was an interesting tweet, David. We see ICONLOOP as basically it said that they've positioned themselves as a go-to source for companies seeking to launch their own customized blockchains. Fantastic. We've heard Mint allude to the fact of that SDK, kind of BTP built Java, where say Spirex or what is it? Which is what's that?
It's Spira.
Spera, yes, Spera. They wanted to optimize their chain for NFT gaming specifically, so they've gone and they're building it basically on the same engine, and it looks like it'll be connected to BTP so that they can take advantage of everything Icon's connected to, move NFTs, yada yada yada. So we've seen the CEO come out and say that they are ready to build this. I just want to know, do we know for sure, is this intertwined? Like the goal that anything they ship will ship with, obviously, the GoLoop engine and tech, etc., but with that BTP built into the background, so that if, say, some of these enterprises want to enable it to connect to the other blockchain universe, they can. Do we know? Has that been confirmed, or are we speculating?
We are, but what we're talking about here, I think, is the Icon SDK, just like Jabba rightfully mentions in his
See,
first comment.
right
The-
away he gets a like, a love heart, appreciation.
So an SDK is a software development package. Actually, it's a package full of tools that help you launch a project. In this case, a blockchain. And what IconLoop is doing is they're basically in the process of publishing such package so that other entities can come in and build their blockchain with the tools that IconLoop gives them. And whether BTP implementation is immediately in that package or if it gets added later, I don't know. But altogether, it's a good thing because it means that different entities, projects, businesses, they will be handed that Icon SDK, and they can go and start work. And they're immediately onboarded into the Icon ecosystem,
Yeah.
essentially using the same tools, the same programming language, and eventually BTP. And the more transactions that we run through BTP, the better. And we'll talk a little bit about that later on.
Oh yes.
I feel like IconLoop has been so IconLoop is the technical partner of Icon Foundation.
Yep.
And the Icon Foundation, that's what we hear about all the time. That's the public blockchain. But on the enterprise side of things, IconLoop has been very busy helping companies and consortiums do exactly what we're talking about right now, onboarding into blockchain through different ventures. We had the MyID Alliance. We had the Proof certification systems. We had the Jeju Island vaccination. So all these use cases, they've been working, and they've been kind of using a package, of tools to help these use cases use blockchain. And I feel like what's happening now is they're kind of combining that into an SDK and publishing that, for the world to use. And that's exciting because that means, other big projects, they either already have this or they're working on this too. It's a way to further adoption. So it's a smart move. Yeah.
I think ultimately, yes, one thing you said really clicked. Regardless if it's BTP or not BTP enabled, it's shipping the same infrastructure architecture. So if they say they don't want it, that's fine. Later on they want it. It's not a big hoo-ha. It's a flick of a switch because the tech's right there. It's the same language. It's already been built. It's kind of like what we say for BTP, for example. Once a chain like Binance Smart Chain, once those contracts and things are being built, well, any chain with similar language, then we can optimize those smart contracts and deploy them quite quickly. But in this case, it's the actual chain infrastructure itself, not just a smart contract. But exciting times. It's good to see them come out this and say this. And then I did see Min follow up with the tweet as well, that he was quite excited about this. So great to see. Next up, oh, this is the one. This is the one you were burning to get out there, isn't it, David? Oof, oof. I don't know. I think if people have taken the time to read this article that TJ published, what's it labeled? Buyback and burn BTP fees. Now, a bit more context. If
Yeah.
if people recall, TJ famously put out a bit of a post around um, the original design where CPS, once it hits 1 million ICX, it's meant to burn. Obviously, BTP fees were meant to go into CPS, so if it hits that million, a lot has changed. I'm just giving context. It hits that million, it burns. TJ famously came out sharing an opinion. It wasn't, we're making these changes. You know, he was just trying to share a view because the way TJ is mind and the way he looks at things, it's opportunity cost, right? So in his eyes, it's we're growing ecosystem. Why would we burn? Why would we burn when we could take those funds and keep encouraging um,
Yeah.
exponential, insane amount of building, right? So, and I've a lot of people. So I disagreed originally. I remember jumping on a call, going, "TJ, what the heck?" Ah, la, la. But after he shared his view, I actually really aligned with him. I said, and we start to see it. You start to see CPS, for example, when Icon 2.0 launched and stuff like that. All of a sudden, CPS was completely exhausted of funds because there were so many people wanting to build. So I think this was his ultimate point. Anyway, all that aside, then he's come out, he's rethought of this, and he's looked at more use cases and things like that, and he's kind of created this twofold system. There's the Icon Ecosystem Fund, CPS, things like that help build. And then at the same time, there's BTP, and the more adoption that happens with that, it helps burn. So you kind of got the two narratives or perspectives or whatever you want to call it working in sync
Yeah.
to aid the ecosystem.
Yeah. So what he's suggesting is a new balance between the burn and the build. Not unimportantly, he's suggesting the CPS to be renamed the Icon Ecosystem Fund so that people better understand what it is from the offset. And yeah, so that Icon Ecosystem Fund would be funded by the 10% Icon inflation. Sorry, there is Icon inflation. It's not 10%.
4%,
It's 4%, but 1/10 of that inflation is now directly wired to the Icon Ecosystem Fund.
Yeah.
If you scroll down on that image that you have right there, you can see that the BTP growth of the network and the integrations is to be funded, and the dApps that function, that drive those transactions, that's to be funded by that 200 million ICX interoperability incentive program. And then last but not least, the fees that BTP is accumulating, those are suggested to be burned. And in that balance, we'd have a healthy system set up where we balance the build and the burn. And TJ, he writes these kinds of posts every now and then. He does so on Substack, which is a website where you can basically read people. It's like Medium, isn't it?
Blogging,
But the
yeah.
sub stands for subscription, so you can actually have subscribers, while Medium offers the same functionalities, I'd say. I think Substack is more popular amongst like crypto Twitter writers. I've seen a couple of names. I've subscribed to a couple and read some very interesting articles about this kind of stuff and people's behavior online. So definitely recommend actually diving into this TJ piece. And from here on, there's links that could lead you out or further down the rabbit hole. There's Kobe, Knowers, and No Sleep John. These are, people he mentions that write pieces. I've read them. They're good. They're interesting, and it makes you feel smart. So if anyone has 10 or 20 minutes left, I would recommend.
Definitely. Look, definitely give it a read. It is something. I think when you read it, you're like, yes, nailed it. This is exactly what we want. It's perfect. So give it a read, and yeah, get educated. I haven't read the other articles actually, David. I will click on some of these now that
Yeah,
we've.
yeah. I recommend reading the Kobe's one first. Yeah, he places
Oh yeah.
projects,
Okay.
blockchains, and DApps in a very interesting graph where some are destined to succeed and some are destined to fail. And that's all I'll say. And then you can decide what you think
Okay.
of it.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Okay. So next up we have so this tweet. I didn't look. I definitely have noticed NFTs are becoming much bigger on Icon. Everything in my feeds these days is NFT related across Icon,
Mm,
and I'm not saying that in
yeah,
a bad way. It's a good thing. It's a great way to expand the community, and it's something all the chains have in common, right? NFT. So it's quite easy to, if you can click with another chain in the community and find something that is connecting to bring them across, or vice versa. So
yeah,
this was around just some stats around craft. 15K unique wallets, 15 million traded on those um,
yeah.
backyards.
I think it's more about the like you just said, the NFT industry, the NFT subsection of DApps. That's one of the only ones that's still projected to grow and gain mass adoption, whereas DeFi is reported to be either shrinking in adoption or plateauing. Other types of DApp categories either haven't taken off at all yet or just simply aren't appealing. Let's say infrastructure dapps or dapps that help in the background service,
Mm.
other dapps. So the NFT moniker, like the NFT category, is, I feel, the one that's still projected to grow through 2022, and we're visibly seeing that on Icon.
Mm.
It's all people are doing and talking about. Let's not forget that it was a year ago that about a year ago we celebrated Balanced birthday last
Mm-hmm.
week or 2 weeks ago. That's DeFi. That's 1 year ago. Before that, we had nothing, right?
Yeah.
And in the
No.
meanwhile,
We had staking. Come on.
we had staking, but we have Craft Marketplace for NFTs.
No, we didn't.
It was Spartan Node's NFT
That's right.
Bazaar.
We did. They were the first
That
ones off the block.
they were, with interesting mechanism right there. But I haven't heard much about that bazaar growing or maintaining users, and it's hard because having you kind of need. You'd say you'd have a first mover advantage
Mm.
because you need one marketplace. You can't cross. What would happen if I sent my. We've learned in recent podcast that if I have an NFT, the code is on the blockchain, but the image, for example, is stored with an IPFS, interplanetary file system. What would happen if I send my NFT from Craft to the NFT Bazaar? Then the NFT Bazaar would simply have to retrieve the same file from the IPFS
Mm-hmm.
and show it to me. So right now, me rambling, I'd say it's possible,
Oh, me
but we're not
too.
really seeing it, are
But
we?
based on our session with Paul, I do feel it's possible now.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, in all honesty, like block on the same blockchain, that should be definitely possible. If we're talking about bridging NFTs to other blockchains, then on the same blockchain is fine. But I see a point, and yeah, look, huge success with Craft, and um, hopefully it keeps growing. Well, we have left, right, and center sales going on. We'll get to that in a
Oh,
moment.
yes.
Yeah, let's keep moving. Next up, what do we got? Okay. So the community approved stability fund. Now we know balanced. We love it. Many people may not like the rebalancing component of it, especially when there's a lot of market volatility. Now, I just had Scott on the show, literally dropped the episode a day or two ago, and he breaks down what the stability fund is, and we run through scenarios of how to use it and why it's a game changer for balance. Now, me and David were talking about this, and I even admitted on the podcast, like I get it, I understand, but when I go to articulate the process, it breaks apart, and I fumbled. And even before the podcast, David's like, "Oh, did you, I'm like, "Yes," and I went to explain it to him, and I just couldn't, words weren't coming out properly. But the simplest way to look at it is the stability fund enables you to arb BNUSD if it breaks peg down or up with other stables. And by this fund, it reduces the system in the background actually doing rebalancing, so selling off ICX or buying ICX off the total stash. So it's kind of it's a great implementation because it wasn't that difficult to do, and you can actually I'll stop there and say give it a listen. In fact, the episodes, as more people listening to it, they're loving it, and I've seen we're up to over 500 views now, and it's climbing. It's really good. Like, as in, I wanted to understand a few things, so I literally stopped Scott many times and made him explain it over and over again in different ways. So take the time, listen to it. It is a game changer. It made me feel a lot happier about potentially again using balance the way I used to use it. With after the rebalancing started stressing me out. So. But it's a cool. I believe this solution came up from a community member, and then the team looked at it and realized they can implement it quite quickly. And the portion of the Java contracts, it was small changes, so they were able to do it. Anyway, Scott explains it great. It's awesome. And while the UI component isn't done, he does touch on how we, as in we, me, the average person who's not going to go on the track or look at contracts or anything like that, can actually use the UI currently to arb it one way. But the UI component is being built, so then anyone and everyone can just do it via the website. Now, I know I've been talking a lot, David. I'm going to throw to you, but overall, while we're on that podcast, I encourage, even if balance isn't your thing and you don't want to listen to it, after a while, Scott actually gives a bit of an update about BTP architecture, formerly known as BTP product, which is the next iterations of BTP. He's working closely with the ICONLOOP team. He actually talks in detail some of the accomplishments and what they have figured out, and what he's excited around that. And he talks around some use cases. He even uses balance as his use cases and explains some of the cool things that are about to transpire. So yeah.
Yeah, because balance is on the forefront of BTP. Really, they're waiting for that to be done, and they're going to hop on that and start importing tokens from abroad, so to speak, and enabling functionalities through what BTP has to offer. I think they're eager to kick off the interoperability right there.
But I think that's the beauty of it. Like, one of the things, if everyone recalls on Twitter, we saw the screenshot of the balanced UI moving a token to another chain. Now, this is not swapping. This was moving a token, which we know Icon Bridge is meant to be doing, and you would assume there would be a separate interface where people just go to the Icon Bridge and etc. move assets. But anyone, it's not just balance, any team building can just tap into the bridge on the back end and build a UI on their actual dApp that facilitates whatever they want to do. So and their team, the balance team, is actively working on such things. So you don't have to break out of the UI, the ecosystem of the balance actual app to go, oh, I'll bring this token from there over. It looks like in balance they'll just build that so that eyes are in the same place. You're not breaking your experience, which I think is sensational.
Because it shows that both BTP and Icon Bridge, they're essential infrastructure for interoperability. It's infrastructure that Icon is building and putting out there, but afterwards it becomes a free for all. Like, people can use the infrastructure and build what they want. We can see it with the Wonder Game team. They've already grabbed Icon Bridge and built their cross-chain NFT minting around it, which I just got a notification.
Oh, yes.
I'm not sure what I thought. It was an announcement of some sorts.
Oh, no.
Right. They've literally just announced their pre-sale, which they had postponed due to market conditions. The Wonder Game pre-sale will start on May 27th. So it's just been announced. There you go.
Boom. Yes, it's happening.
And this is built on Icon Bridge. So what happens here, and we've mentioned this before, you can buy an NFT, you can mint your NFT on Icon, pay with ICX, and it will mint the NFT and drop it into your Harmony wallet on the Harmony blockchain. So you're hopping blockchain here with this process, which relies on the Icon Bridge infrastructure. And this is the first,
of many.
but of many use cases to follow, indeed.
Yeah. Yep. No, look, this is cool. Like, this happened just before we started recording. I saw it as well. So everyone who's when Icon Bridge, well, when this sale starts, technically, well, not really, Icon Bridge has launched. Like, it is using that tech. That's how it's facilitating. Yes, to be very clear, this is a custom front end they built specifically for this sale, but it's being enabled because that is live, that is on mainnet. It's sending those generic messages across Icon Bridge and facilitating, the minting because it's received the funds ICX payment. So really cool. Look, there's prices noted there. There's a bit of a discount, and they've also, while we're on the Wonderland topic, David, they've also revamped. I just noticed Connect. I'm so tempted to hit Connect, but I won't do it right now. And they've revamped their site. It's looking a lot better. I like it. I love the roadmap. The first time I did it, it kind of loaded. All the stuff came in snazzily. But yeah, see how that guy dropped in? That's what the roadmap did. But
hey, one detail. Have you noticed that a similar facelift has been applied to Gangstabet? Just looking at their logo already right there. And if you go to their website, you will also find that Gangstabet has polished their front end.
Is it now? Okay.
Truth. Hit market. Oh, look, this is new. Hit marketplace, or
Looks the same.
not sure if you want to hit wallet.
Emerald City. No, I don't want to hit wallet. It'll have my
That's where the change is.
Okay. Yeah,
so okay, but then hey, look at the logo.
Okay,
That's a different fedora.
Oh yes.
See that?
Where?
Well, the top bar. Look.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, look at this. What? I don't have a golden key. Anyway. Okay. Let's.
Shame. All right, back to
it. Okay, we've done craft. We've talked at stability fund. Yes. Oh. Okay. This is the. Look, I won't. I haven't. I'm not going to go into detail of this, but as everyone knows, Monks, Ohm, they're trying to do what they can. Kudos to Budweiser, Arosh, and Steven. They are legends. They're there every week, planning, plotting, doing majority of the grunt work. So huge shout out to them. And obviously they want to keep the community updated because they have taken funds from the DAO, and they're doing a lot of cool things, and they've written a report updating everyone. So if you're interested to see what they're up to and how the funds are being spent, please make sure you take a look. They're doing a lot of Twitter thread comps and things like that, and they're giving away fair amount of either Ohm tokens, NFTs, and things like that. So if you haven't already, get involved, take a look. I've definitely noticed one thing, David. It doesn't matter that we're bare, price, nothing, all that stuff. All the NFT projects, the dApps, even the foundation, they're regularly giving away money for free. Yep. Well, a little bit of work, a quiz here, a thread there, tag someone here, and boom, you can win stuff.
They're incentivizing engagement. Like, it's all about getting people in and engaging with each other, building a community. We have a massive community.
Yeah, it's great.
And yeah, it just makes people feel welcome. It makes them feel excited to log in again every day. Makes them feel safe in a sense, and you get to talk about all these things that interest you as well. Yeah. Especially, we have to mention the Icon Discord again, because the Icon Discord is a server, a place where you head in there, and it has so much different channels alluding to different aspects of the Icon blockchain, that there's bound to be one where you find like people who talk and think the same, like who like the same subjects. So getting incentivized to engage. I play the Icon quiz every day, and I learn these little trinkets of Icon knowledge. What certain things are called and why certain things are the way they are.
Yeah,
it's exciting.
No, love it. It is great. Okay, so Monk's report next up now. When this feels like it was a little while back, yes, but might as well. I hope anyone took notice of the fandom tweet that came out. They were doing, you know, I liked this because didn't realize what they they have quite a decent following. It's all around you. They build these packages, you donate, and you could win it, and it has nothing to do with crypto. But now they've integrated NFTs, and they were going to basically retro drop any of their users who sign up to Bridge via the web interface of the website, fandom website. If they just there's a Bridge icon and they click and set up their wallet, assign it to their profile, they'll get an NFT that gives them exclusive benefits and whatnot. Now, you had a chance as well if you wanted to quickly catch before the May 11th the airdrop of this NFT. So we can see the foundations getting behind it because, again, this is, we keep talking about growing a user base. This is an entire new user base. And even if 10 of them come across, mission accomplished. I mean, yeah, I'm expecting a lot more than 10. I'm just throwing a terrible figure out there. Anything to add here, David?
No, the only interesting part about this is the fact that this business it's a non-crypto business essentially. I think they go to they offer up experiences, meet the drummer of Metallica. I'm guessing they ask him like, hey, do you want to do this for charity? He says yes. Then they turn around and they ask the people, hey guys, everyone donate to this charity. And one person gets to meet this guy and it works. People they donate probably on the regular,
Yeah.
They donate. And look, if you've donated 10 times and you've won once, you've probably got value for money. And in the meanwhile, you're donating to 10 different charities. And what they're trying to do is, bring their business into crypto, make use of NFTs. And that's probably why, as mentioned before, NFTs as a category is the one that's projected to grow the most. It's because there is, it's not hard to imagine use cases for regular businesses to apply NFTs. If you go to Coachella, a music festival in the United States, they drop you an NFT and you go and claim it, and it gives you a T-shirt. You can go collect a T-shirt.
Is it? Wow, cool.
Or some people get an upgrade on their ticket. You might be able to go backstage. And obviously, these tokens being non-fungible, if there's 20,000 people visiting Coachella, I don't know, they all get a unique NFT dropped.
Yeah.
So there's a couple who get lucky. The rest gets a T-shirt.
Yeah.
But this is a music festival applying crypto to their to their business. So FanDM is doing something similar, but with charities. Yeah.
Look, and this is where that NFT is really expanding that user base, isn't it? DeFi did one thing. You got your finance types of people who, but a lot of people, like, until DeFi came along, I generally wasn't interested in finance myself. Even though I worked for a finance company, it was insurance, and I really didn't give a crap about it. All of a sudden, why? I don't know. Blockchain and DeFi came along, and all of a sudden, I'm like, "Ooh, wait, yeah, exactly." So,
yeah, I used to hate finance.
Yeah.
I used to hate it with a passion, and now I love it.
Yeah, see that's the power of crypto. It has the ability to inspire you and also make you broke. So okay.
Maximum pain.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, next up. So what's this? Look,
Optimus.
Yes, Optimus held a poll on what stable coin should they support. I mean, look, 207 votes, 83% BNUSD. It was a given. It wasn't even a competition. In my eyes, I always say this, maximum attention should be given to BNUSD. Now, with the stability fund in place, it should make it more resilient, secure, sticking to the peg, less volatility in the rebalancing side of things, so people will there's still risks associated to it, but at least people may be a bit more relaxed putting their collateral up, although they shouldn't put their entire stash, and experiment with stuff. So there's a lot of perks there, and obviously the impact it has to ICX, as we know, it's an over collateralized coin. Now, one thing I wanted to call out, David, like we know algorithmic has been all the rage at the moment, given what's happened, and we can see on the Balance website, it's got algorithmic stablecoin. Now, I was having a conversation with the monks the other day as well, and in my eyes, the Balance algorithmic stablecoin is very different because it's the rebalancing. Would that be fair to say, David? It's the rebalancing component that is algorithmic, not the coin itself. The BNUSD stablecoin is an over collateralized stablecoin. You have to have a certain amount of ICX. So I don't know what the LTV is at the moment, but before it was basically over 150% to mint, just like DAI, So it was just how the rebalancing component happens, that it impacts everything. It takes it as a whole. That's a component that can be labeled algorithmic. So just in case anyone was worried, no, completely different scenario to UST, where UST essentially wasn't backed. It was like Luna was burnt from the supply and UST was minted at a 1-to-1 ratio. But yeah, anyway, let's not get into the spiral. This is not the case. It's not one, ICX is locked and 1 BNUSD is minted. It doesn't. No, it's $1.50 worth of ICX is locked and $1 is minted. If you look at it from that perspective, so it's over collateralized. Anyway, I feel everyone listening to the podcast should know this by now, but if you didn't, hopefully I didn't get that wrong. But yes, build around BNUSD. Builders, craft, anything. You're thinking of stablecoin, BNUSD is your stablecoin. No other stablecoin should matter for the moment. And
Optimus is asking actually here, what should our next strategy be? See, Optimus is the DeFi yield aggregator. So if you go to Optimus, bring your ICX along, and you can use Optimus to kind of invest through Balanced, through Ohm, soon through Convexus, and there's possibly going to be something going on with Karma. All DeFi that comes to Icon is going to be accessible through one platform/dashboard, which is Optimus. Kind of that's the idea of this of a yield aggregator.
Yeah,
and they're asking the people, what strategy shall we implement? Now, I'm just curious, Fez, what are your thoughts on the Optimus launch strategy? Because I feel like Optimus is either not doing great in getting themselves out there. They've had some problems with communication. They've sent people to the Moim server, their own private Discord, you could say. Now they've decided, okay, that's not really working. People aren't showing up here. We're going to bring it to Discord, where all the people are at. They have this issue with American-based users, USA-based users. They need a VPN.
Oh, I didn't know that. As in for Discord?
No, for Optimus, for the website.
Oh, okay, yep.
You use Optimus, you need to use a VPN. So if you're in the States and you're just in a regular browser, you can't even use the product.
Why?
It's tough because it gets asked in their community Discord, and they kind of say safety and security reasons. They're very the whole reason. So the whole reason this was all in place to begin with, I think it was thought up of, in brainstorm sessions, they were like, okay, how do we protect the safety of the users? Yeah. So how do we keep scammers and spammers out? How do we make sure that people can safely use this product? And that's when they said, okay, we're going to do our own private Discord with a different name, where there's something in there that blocks American users, but it's not helping. So my question about Optimus was, are they going to fix this, and is it going to come back like a slingshot? Once these issues are fixed, people are going to dive onto it because it's brilliant. The dashboard, like, I love it. I don't go to Balance, don't go to Ohm. I just use Optimus.
Oh, don't let Parrot9 hear you say that. Okay.
I'm earning Balance on the left, Ohm tokens on the right, and in the middle I'm getting the Optimus token. In terms of usability, it's fantastic, but in terms of communication, it's been lacking. So I was wondering, is it gonna crumble? or is it going to come back with a bang?
Look, honestly, I didn't know some of the stuff was happening. I mean, I did know one thing. Like, I was very much struggling to go and ask any questions, and I found the Gnome. I don't know. I lost my username, and I just could not be bothered signing up to another thing. Given everyone's transitioned into Discord, and it's so much easier to just pop in and out and get the questions answered. So, um, I was cheeky. I was reaching out directly at times, not being a burden, but to Danielle and one of the devs over there. But even now, I've slowed down to not hassle. I should go through the right forums. But you're right. Being on Discord should help a lot. I didn't know about the VPN. I've heard of sites doing that. I don't really understand why. But yeah, this whole thing, they were trying to market their own product, and I understood from a security point of view, but yeah, it's again, if you're going, you got Telegram, you got Discord, you've also got this other site, you've got these forums, you've got, it's too much. It's too much, especially when you want to start following a lot more protocols, and you see, and more things start to, you can't. So overall, Optimus is great. Like you said,
It
you can
is.
you can triple stack, you can do all these crazy things. I still, like, I know the token is being minted, and naturally the price is meant to drop. That's just part and parcel. But I still feel I don't get the value prop of the token yet. I just don't get it. And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying there's no value to it. There is. Maybe the job of highlighting what its value is isn't being done the way it should
Yeah.
be in my personal eyes. And I see people, oh, it's going to turn around, but then I think straight away, when I think, I'm like, but why is it going to turn around? I know when you take people build strategies, etc., they've followed the YN model, which is fantastic, but I don't see that transpiring, though, those complex strategies pulling in other, our ecosystem in general has struggled to get, because it's not Rust as Solidity. The Java side of it is been a bit harder to pull in, because it's very enterprise related. So we haven't seen, and I could be wrong. I could be talking out of my ass here, but this is just the general vibe I've gotten. And so, David, to your point, I think if people want self-managed automated stuff, Optimus is our only solution and should be the go-to solution. But two, I'd like to see them actually do a bit more aggressive in their strategies. Like, I want to see them manage LPs, that sell and self compound. Like, these are the things I want from them. Not none of this, oh, we'll just hold your tokens, and like, to me it's too safe. That aside,
So
yeah.
more aggressive strategies, conventional findability.
Yep.
So regular Discord, no more VPNs and stuff. Just be able, to get adoption within Icon actually.
Yep.
That's going to turn it around.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Look, and this is one thing I want to say. Like, while I've gone, I don't understand. I'm not saying the token doesn't. It clearly does. I've sat in sessions, and when they've explained it to me, I've gotten super excited. But my call out is, time has passed, and maybe a reminder is in play to go, hey, did you know the Fin token? This is what it represents. By holding it, this is the value it creates. These are the opportunities you have, etc., etc. Like, we already know for balance. Like, right now, if you think about balance, what do you think? Well, if I stake it, I'm earning network fees. Boom. You think about Ohm. Well, right now, if I stake Ohm, I can direct PREP rewards. Boom. It has other value props, but that is its value prop you think of straight away. Optimus. Uh, uh, I can't even tell you right now what the value prop of holding that token is. Not to say it doesn't have it. It's just, I don't know. That brand hasn't been built into my brain. That's all. And yeah, that's rant over. Okay, David, we always do this. Yeah, so let's roll it through. Okay, now we're going to seriously do a quick fire round. Next up, what have we got? Gangstabet. Now, oof. Okay, yes. So everyone knew, if you vote for Gangstabet, you got the node rewards if you voted for them, and if you supplied liquidity, GBET, BNUSD, you earned Crown tokens. I believe this is still at play. However, they are also going to add another option I believe, which I haven't figured out what it is, but essentially it's them reminding that this is still at play. Make sure the quickest way for you to earn crown is providing liquidity or staking to the node, and you earn crown rewards. Anything you want to add to that, David?
The Gangstabet raffle for the golden keys, we softly touched off it earlier, has taken place.
Yep.
So if you've you can go into your account, I think, and see if you've won any golden keys.
Yep. You saw I won exactly 0.
Exactly 0. Golden keys would help you mint civilians moving forward in the Gangstabet metaverse. So that's happened. Go check if you have any golden keys, and otherwise keep an eye on the secondary market. I'm not sure for what they'll go.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Okay, next up, Frame released their tokenomics. I want to spend another time breaking this down. I had a lot of conversations around their tokenomics in the background, and I loved. They were very proactive in taking on feedback, and just came up with this cool model. I don't know if you've had time to look at it, but essentially,
I've had a look at the tokenomics. I've had a look at Framed, the token and the NFT project. It's kind of bringing. It's a perfect mix of token utility, kind of like a DeFi aspect with if you scroll down a little bit on your screen, there's this big overview. There you go. This arrow chart. I didn't even know where to begin, and I was looking at this for like 10 minutes, and I still don't completely understand it. But it's like every move, every possible like utility is incentivized and is moving, is being thought about, and it's going a certain way for a certain reason. So assuming that there's sensible decisions made there, you may also assume that it's an interesting project to keep an eye on and possibly acquire one of their NFTs, maybe some of that token, see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. Look, the guys want to come on the show. We'll set up a time very soon and have them on in the next couple of weeks. So
have them explain that.
I actually have been explained it, and I can walk through. Just keeping an eye on time. This could become another 45-minute conversation. But it's really cool. It's taken a lot of design mechanics, and it's centered around a bit of the node as well. But the whole idea around the node is not for the team. It's not to fund the team or anything like that. The node rewards are used to drive various incentives around the Framed ecosystem and its tokenomics, including protocol-owned liquidity and things like that. So it's pretty cool. And what I love about it is no one in Icon's doing stuff like this. And here's a team that's actually incorporating some of the best bits about Icon and utilizing it to grow the ecosystem ultimately and reward its voters / holders. So super excited about this. We'll have them on the show and have them break it down. I know Andy, there's now 2 Andrew, which is the metrics Andrew, and then Andy. So it's Andy 1, Andy 2. But we'll have them on the show and get them to break it down. So, but if you haven't already, definitely Framed has been putting out a ton of content, not just a couple of tweets. So they're taking the time to explain everything in detail. Make sure you're following them and share, but take the time to read it because and ask questions. Get in the Discord, start asking questions. You'll get answers. But pretty cool. Next up, claws. Okay, just very quickly, apparently the reveal date is the 23rd. My one claw that I have is going to finally be revealed. However, there's something else over here. What does this mean, David? From 300 claws, is it I have to own 300 claws?
Basically, what they're doing is giving a bulk discount to big buyers in order to drive sales of the NFT. I've given them a bit of a hard time over this on Twitter.
Though? Like the whole idea, you don't want one person stacking everything because if they decide to then they just
You,
dump it, it'll
yeah,
devalue it.
yeah, but you do want to chase selling out. I suppose the team wants to chase certain budget goals. I gave him a hard time. I said, "Hey, look, you're giving out a 30% discount to people who can afford 300 claws. That's
Which,
like 60,000 ICX.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
are you serious? Like, that's not me, and I don't think that's anyone else I know. And they're getting a 30% discount where we all paid full price." And then their purchase will be vested for 6 months, and after that they can do what they want, and that's considered a long-term vesting period. Whereas I think 6 months, that isn't long-term at all, because time flies, and I doubt that certain features will be even launched within 6 months. So that vesting period is a bit of a joke, but that's
So brutal.
one side of things.
Yeah.
And I gave him a hard time, right? I posted like, look, what's this about? And they kind of countered with, yeah, but anyone can partake, and the 300 clause is up for discussion. I must say, low key, it has, like they said, they had 1 or 2 people involved in this way, and last time I checked, like I think there's like 80% sold out now, which for all buyers in general, it is kind of a good thing, whatever
Yeah.
you make of it. And then they said, look, we cannot vest longer because they must be able, someone who buys 300 must be able to use those interoperability features and whatnot.
Yeah.
And if it takes any longer, they kind of get ruled out. I wasn't entirely sure about the explanation, but yeah, definitely something I placed a question mark next to.
And okay, I don't mean to give Claus a hard time. Awesome, love it. I just didn't understand the 300. It's encouraging mass holding over sellout. I don't know, but you know what? They have sold altogether now what 8,000, 7,000 NFTs. So kudos.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And look, I hold them, and I use the referral tool as well
Yeah.
to kind of push forward my own link, and it's given me a couple of free mints as well.
But that's why
I'm excited about this.
That's why you question it, right? It's not about scrutinizing the team or
Not at
anything.
all.
It's more that you give a shit, and that's why you're
And
questioning.
I feel like if I don't ask the question here, someone else is going to ask the question somewhere else. So I might as well post it, get an answer, and then we all know what's up.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, let's keep moving. Frame. Now, just very quickly, a few giveaways. Frame, they've got a giveaway. You do some stuff. What do you like about their tokenomics? Tag 3 friends, join their Discord, win. What do you win? What do you win? It's you win something. Didn't cover that well, but you win. So do it. Next up, Wonder Game pre-sale, but they also have a competition. I've seen something about whitelist, top 10. Go to their Discord. You got a pick on one of the horns, and you're in the running to win an NFT. Don't quote me if it's NFT. It's something. You're winning something is all I know. So definitely make sure. I can see David already running off. I can feel it. I can feel him racing to the Discord so he doesn't miss this free mint. Next up, we have... Oh, already talked about this. That's all. Oh, and the final part, I also know 16-Bit Fight Club is running a competition. There's a tweet out. You just have to retweet something.
I did this.
You did, yes.
You have to tell the world what you love about Icon. So I said, I love that the Icon blockchain is fast. And what you do is you tag 2 friends and the 16-Bit Fight Club. You do the hashtags required. You send it out, and you're in the running.
And that's 250 ICX being given away. Well, 50 ICX each winner. So definitely tons of free money just being thrown out there in this bear market. So
what do you love about the Icon blockchain fest?
I didn't. For me, it's the Icon community that I love the most, and I've always loved the Icon community. I've always said that, even in my one-on-one stories to you, I've always told you this. This is one thing I love about Icon. Like
you do. So he does.
So yeah, it's for me that never changes. So thank you everyone, and it's a perfect way to end the show. Thank you everyone for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. As always, not financial advice, just a couple of guys who loves the ecosystem and trying to do what they can to help and bring the news out there to you. Take care, everyone.